Hello, hello. So today we're talking about marketing, and it's one of those things that we all kind of dread doing. It's something that we maybe avoid doing if it is something that we're not quite sure of how to do it or we're not getting the response that we want. So, today I'm going to talk about which marketing strategy to choose and how to help yourself to kind of get through this marketing thing if it seems like it's a scary thing. So, I really wanted to talk about this today and I decided to do it as a live. And if you've never met me before, you might be wondering, who is this chick and why is she talking about marketing? So, my name is Amanda, and I am a web designer, photographer, and I also went to school for internet marketing. And I am actually transitioning into teaching and consulting, and I am trying to teach more in this type of way because I want to impact the world more and help more people. And it's fun for me. So, I am just that type of person who likes to teach the things that she knows. So I am here today and I'm going to talk to you about all of this marketing stuff. So there's marketing strategies that people tell you to do, and it's like an endless battle, it seems, where there are just so many things that we can do to market our business, and we sometimes are not quite sure of what thing to choose, of what thing to do. And I want to kind of make it a little bit easier for us, a little less scary. So we're going to talk about which marketing strategy should you choose. And if you see me looking down, it's because I have some notes today. So basically, this is going to be a series. So this is the first video where I'm going to talk about which strategy to choose. And then in the coming weeks, I'm going to talk more about different strategies in the specifics so that way you can learn a bit more if it's something that you are like, maybe I should try that out. Hey, Amanda Sue, good to see you. Thanks for being here with me live. So, anyways, basically, there are 4 steps, 4 things that I think that you should think about before you choose which strategy that you would like to go forth with. So, the first step is to figure out where your ideal client hangs out or your ideal customer hangs out online. So, if you have a small audience right now, that may seem a little bit scary. It may seem like I don't have a large audience. So, how do I figure this out? Well, just use the existing audience that you have. If that's like 10 people, 20 people, it doesn't matter. So, you can just go in and you can pull them or ask them where they like to hang out online the most. So they might like to hang out on Instagram, for example, or they might like to hang out on Facebook. If they don't like to hang out on Twitter, then you putting all of your effort into Twitter is not going to benefit you. It's actually going to make it more difficult for you to get done all the things that you need to get done that you have on your to do list. So, why spend the time and effort there and your creative juices there if they're not even hanging out there? So, you'll want to take a little bit of time to figure out where your people are hanging out. And that can be as simple as asking a question or going back to people who you've already worked with and asking them through email, or you might want to pull your audience through your email. It just depends on where your audience is already and just asking and reaching out and seeing where they're at. Step number 2 is to think about which platforms that you actually enjoy the most. I, for one, do not like Twitter. I do not like Twitter, and I honestly don't like Facebook. So, Twitter, I do have stuff that I put out on Twitter, but I'm not there every day. I go in, probably once a week and check to see if I have any comments or things that are happening, but I'm not spending all my time there. I actually use a scheduler. I use Recur Post to schedule out my posts there that go out because I do have customers who hang out there just a little bit. And I will send out these posts throughout the week. And I actually just spend an hour, probably a week or every other week, setting up the post to go out. So I don't take a long time. I don't check in on it every single day. It's just not something that I'm pouring a lot of my time and attention into. Facebook is the same for me. I actually have that scheduled out as well. I do check in more often there to my Facebook page because I have people who comment back to me and I feel like I need to be a little bit more present there. But I actually spend the majority of my time on Facebook in groups to build community. So I'm using Facebook in a different way. I don't like to just post to my page and then that's it because I don't feel like that works for me. I don't feel like that works for my audience. So I'm trying to do what works best for me and what works best for my audience. And I think about where I like to hang out and I take that into consideration because if I don't like to hang out in a particular place and my audience is there, but they're not like, ooh, this is the best thing ever, then I'm not going to spend a lot of time marketing on that platform just because it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. So often I will be on Instagram or I will be on YouTube here, and I am doing the things that I enjoy to do, the things that actually light me up instead of the things that I dread doing. So that's what I would recommend for you to pour your time, your energy, and your creative juices into the platform that makes the most sense for you and your audience. Step number 3 is to think about the purpose of the platform. So different platforms serve different purposes. They all maybe seem social, but that's not necessarily the case. For instance, Pinterest, which is my friend Amanda Sue, who's watching now, that's her favorite platform, and that's what she helps people with. Pinterest is actually not as social as the other platforms. Pinterest is more for search engine optimization, so SEO, getting people to go back to your website and sharing the content that you're creating. So it's less of a platform that is social. So what you're doing there is you're working on your content, working on the images to make them solid, working on your descriptions to make sure that they, reach out to whoever it is that you're trying to attract back to your website. And then you are just trying to create new content on a consistent basis. And when you're doing that, you're not necessarily spending all of your time on Pinterest itself. You're spending time coming up with the content that you create, and that's your strategy as opposed to sitting there and clicking on pins every moment of the day. So Amanda Sue says Pinterest and Instagram are her favorites. Probably Instagram the most of them all, though. So she really prefers Instagram, and that I think is actually where I like to hang out myself the most. And my audience also likes to hang out there. And I'm utilizing YouTube now because I really want to teach people. And so I like to hang out here and I'm trying to find my audience here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about YouTube in a minute, but basically you're wanting to figure out which platforms work best for you and then also thinking about how those platforms work of bringing people in, and if you're actually working towards bringing traffic back to your website or if you're working on building a community, because it might be one or the other. So Instagram might be more about community and then sprinkling in some things about your website, about your product, about your service. So thinking about how those platforms work, that will actually help you to come up with the strategy that you're going to utilize in the future to get stuff going for your brand and your business. Step number 4 is to create a schedule for yourself. So you'll want to create a schedule that works for you. And that might mean posting, once a week or once every other day or something at first, because when you're starting out or when you're not sure what to post, you may have a hard time posting consistently. So you don't want to make it too hard for yourself. So what I recommend is thinking about what you can realistically do and setting aside the time to tackle that plan that you have created and doing that consistently for a length of time, whether that's a month, 3 months, 6 months, and figuring out how you can maybe make that more consistent, where you're posting more often. But start out small and then build upon it. So the thing here, what I was going to say about my YouTube presence is that my YouTube presence is very small right now. I don't have a large audience, and I'm actually posting really consistently here, but that's because I want to build up a library of content that people can see over a long period of time. And the thing that has happened, which is really amazing, and I didn't know that this was going to happen, is that I've actually earned money directly from posting on YouTube and not through ads or anything like that. It's actually people watching my videos and then signing up with services with me. And in the past month, I actually earned 2,500 doing that. So this strategy, although I have a very small presence, 155 people right now at the time of filming this, I actually have made money as a direct result of doing this. So you have to think about, where would your time be best utilized and what works best for you and how do you feel about the platform that you're using. Do what works best for you. Don't do what everybody else is telling you to do. And later on, when you have more time, you can try other platforms, you can do more stuff, but you have to start somewhere and you have to figure out what you like and what your audience likes before you can really tackle everything. So I want to say that I don't always want to be consistent. I don't always feel like hopping on video and doing this whole marketing thing. But, today I needed to have a video done. So I decided to cut out the part that I didn't want to do, which is the editing part, and just hop on live and do a video that way. So I cut some corners for myself to make it doable for me to get this done today. And I'm running with it. So sometimes that's what you have to do. And you can just keep being consistent, keep putting things out there. You're not going to see the results of your efforts today necessarily. It may take a little bit of time. So don't give up on it. And like I said, over the next couple of months, I'm going to be talking about getting traffic back to your website, getting traffic back to your offering. So getting more eyeballs on what it is that you offer. And through that, you will be able to learn more about specific strategies. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the playlist so that way you can learn more about marketing your creative business. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for those who tuned in live. I hope this was helpful for you. And as I always say, make sure that you stay creative this week.